but yeah, I was on a retreat recently with another teacher who actually works with chakras quite a bit as well, and on the first day, like the crown chakra kind of opened up for the first time. It was never anything that like really, how do you say? It was never anything that I looked into very deeply, you know, that
Yeah.
area, I guess. But I don't know, just it just kind of spontaneously cracked open, and yeah, there was just a lot of sensation and a lot of images that kind of came up as well, kind of like, you know, the cosmos and interesting things like that. But, you know, once that's settled down, now there's kind of this, it's interesting. It's like things come up in the mind and body, you know, like that are, how do you say, there's suffering, you know, that come up in the mind and body. And yeah, it's just it's almost like I can just open up to this space in the crown and this silence, this stillness in the crown, and it just kind of washes everything away,
Yeah.
you know, just very spontaneously. It all just kind of, yeah, washes away, and it's really lovely, and it's been quite reliable these past couple days, you know, in that regard. But I don't know, there's like an intuition where, you know, it's like I can maybe I can give my life to this, you know. Just kind of let this like move from silence, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah,
That those thoughts are the precursor to seeking though. So it's like I would just see those thoughts come up and just let them pass through and see that they don't bear any truth on who you truly are. Like, so it doesn't mean that you don't work the chakras and you don't participate in these groups and these practices, but just notice that there it is. The mind is trying to map out how it's going to utilize this new experience. And it's like behind the horse comes the cart. So then the cart is of seeking, and what will happen is you'll end up trying to own something, and as soon as you try to end up owning it, it's like trying to grab hold of water. It's impossible. So just notice that those thoughts come up, but see them for what they truly are. It's just thoughts passing through. They just come and go. That's really beautiful. The crown chakra has opened up. The chakras are really they're really important to the way this system works. It's like a whole. It's not that the chakras are liberation. That the chakras are to do with the body. Well, they also say that the chakras aren't to do with the body as well. They, in one way, they're like an energetic system that's beyond the body, but all of it's happening inside the dream. And who you are is that consciousness in which all of it comes through. But you're looking through this instrument of the human. And if the human is really out of balance in the chakras, which happens to most people in the West because they're identified and they're telling themselves lies. And the more they tell themselves lies, the more their chakras go out of disbalance. So because you're looking through this system, if it's really unbalanced, then your experience is going to be like that. Like your experience is going to be one of feeling not good enough, of feeling tight, of feeling closed down in the crown area, of energy getting stuck in your body, feeling like you can't express yourself. And then it perpetuates the thoughts about it. It's not that clearing the chakras is getting you closer to presence. It's that when you relax the chakras and you relax the thinking mind, then the presence can be sensed so much more. So right now, when you've had that experience, you can feel this moment so much more intensely. It's not that you can feel it, it's that the you's getting out of the way. The you that's identified with the body, and all the chakras are going, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. I hate this person, I don't like this person, I'm not enough, I'm afraid bad things will happen. Like they have little voices, all the chakras. As they all begin to relax, then the detail of this moment, your hands on the table, the feeling of the heat on your skin, the light, the computer, everything else becomes more visceral. Is that the right word? More alive.
yeah. So it's like, okay, I think that's kind of rewiring the way I'm thinking about this whole thing.
Because
So
the problem with chakra teachers was were they only a top chakra teacher, not a non-duality teacher as well?
no, they're also non.
Oh, that's all right then. Yeah, because if you have just like a chakra teacher, then they'll say that chakras are the enlightenment, and that you and it's not. I don't see that as true. Like it just sets up a new thing about the Kundalini awakening, and your chakras always be all these new stories. The freedom is always this moment. And your chakras are there to indicate things and to indicate, or the way that I see it is that when something isn't appropriate, you feel it in your body. Like they're the feeling body. They help you know the world and navigate the world. They're like your senses. I know that chakras are taught so differently. Like I only teach very basics of chakras.
Yeah, I feel like everyone seems to have a different way of approaching it.
Yeah.
But,
I only know chakras actually. I did do Chinese medicine and I studied that and I studied Reiki, but I predominantly know it from the exploration of my body and myself. And so I just totally go off books and off what everybody else says and just follow what my experience is with it. It's really the only way I can talk and teach.
yeah. And that's actually exactly what I appreciate. I don't know, it just feels very hollow when people come from books about this kind of thing, you know,
Yeah.
telling what color clothes to wear in order to activate my child. Like none of that really resonates with me so much. But
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So I guess
Osho also does some nice chakra meditations if you're ever interested.
Sorry, who does?
Osho. You can find it on the
Oh.
internet. Yeah, he does these Kundalini meditations and.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find any.
But that's great. It opens up because it will let all the energy out and the new energy in. It will make you feel a lot more alive and refreshed and energized, I suspect, and
That
spacious.
is exactly. Yeah, it's almost like a kind of a two-way street where, like, well, at least on a sensational level, like all of this stuff, this turmoil inside is kind of washing away, and then there's something that's kind of being
Yeah.
downloaded, if I could use that
Yeah.
that term. And there's more stillness. There's more, yeah.
Yeah, you feel
It's
like
kind
you are. I feel like you're more rested.
much more rested. Yeah, at least because I've been we probably met like a year ago, and since then just so much has how do you say energetically shifted within me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and less of a reliance on I don't know. Yeah, just more stillness. Yeah, more and there's just a wisdom to the stillness as well, a wisdom to the silence. If that I don't know if that makes sense,
Yeah.
but yeah. Well, I think I'm spent. Takes a lot less time now too, I've noticed, which is also good.
Yeah. Yeah, your energy is so much more relaxed. I can feel it.
Yeah. I feel it as well.
Compared to other times when I've spoken to you, your mind has been very quick, whereas now your mind seems very relaxed.
Yeah, it is, and it's almost like how do you say? I'm not trying to escape from my body, if that makes sense. It's almost like because it's not so painful to be in it. There's more joy than pain. Still, there's still some how do you say? Still some stuff. That comes up from time to time, but it clears out a lot faster.
And that's what keeps us evolving. Like the difficulties is what helps us expand and to grow and to embody this message more.
Yeah. I mean, I guess currently it's about if we can talk about it, it is kind of like I feel like the career is my art is kind of the main driving force, at least externally, and I don't know, like in this moment there's kind of this how do you say chomping at the bit. Just a year ago I would have had I used to have these full-on panic attacks before an audition, for example, and now it's like, come on, give me give me an opportunity, give me a break, you know.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know, it's almost like an anxiety, but in the opposite way. But I don't know if you had any advice on that. I don't know, like what do I do in the meantime? You know, I mean, it could be coming at some point, but yeah, in the meantime, I'm just like, yeah, every now and then there is like, what's going on? How do I make this happen a little bit faster, a little bit, you know,
What
on a
for the
better
career? What for the career? How do you make the career happen faster, or the work
yeah.
happen faster? Is that what you mean, or the awakening?
Work, yeah, like
Work.
yeah,
The
because
thing.
I mean there is a which, you know, like there's,
Yeah.
you know, I all I could, you know, and now it's a matter of,
Yeah.
how do you say, the right moment, the right time to
Yeah.
come along, you know.
Yeah.
So,
And the whole time that you're waiting, you're living life. Like, so life is being lived and presence is here. So it's like we always get this image and this idea in our head that we're going to arrive and that something is going to happen. But you'll get a job and then it'll feel like you've arrived momentarily, and then that job will be finished, and then you'll be waiting. Like, you're living life, like life is happening right now. And this idea that you're going to arrive one day, like everybody, well, not everybody, but this is the human dilemma, is this idea that you're going to arrive. And with your type of work, it always has that hope, like that something's going to happen and something's going to change existence. Like it's the same existence no matter what. And now you're here, work will come when it comes, and if it does, and if that's your destiny to do that or to change paths. But it's this moment right now. Like, what's your impulse to do right now? Just moment to moment. Yeah, well, right now, as in like when you're by yourself and you are out of work or waiting for the next audition, like what is your impulse to do? Like, and it's in that moment. Just follow what it feels like in the moment, rather than waiting for this future that's coming. It's very, doing something creative like that is very elusive, because you always think there's something over the rainbow, like there's this place over the rainbow where it's going to happen. And it becomes such a big dream, and other people believe in it too. And I think in LA there's a big like energy towards Hollywood is the answer, or Hollywood is the salvation, or being successful is the salvation, and the salvation never comes.
yeah.
It's right here. Like, your life is happening now. Your experience is happening now. And if you get the urge to advertise yourself more, then do it. If you don't. They can follow that more expansive feeling more, rather than the more contractive feeling or the more fearful feelings. And just go deeply into that feeling that wants to propel you into the future, that wants to have this better future. It will be either in the stomach, the solar plexus, or the heart. And it's this idea that if you don't do it, more than likely you're going to die. And why I say that is so dramatic, but it's like, if you don't get work, if you don't survive as an actor, then you won't get money and you won't survive and you'll die. It's related to death. And it creates this constant agitation which propels you forward. And just see that, and it's not true. Life isn't set up like that. Life is set up as magic, as mystery. So just feel that, like the wanting to work often comes from this agitation that if you don't, then you'll be homeless, you'll be poor, you'll be on the streets, all these bad things will happen to you, you'll fall out of society, you won't keep up, you'll be ashamed. And all of that comes down to the fear of death, the fear that you will die, that you will be a nobody, that you'll be left out, that you'll be alone. It's actually the fear of non-existence, which is your essence, and it's nothing to be afraid of. And that's what's living this life. That's what determines you're an actor, not you and how much you do. Like, I meet all types of people, and through doing this talk, and all types of like actors or artists, and some of them just do one project, they don't advertise it, they don't do anything, and then they become super famous. Some people work at it all their life and then become famous later in their life. Some people never successful, and they've worked so hard. It's nothing to do with you. Like this belief that you are the doer of your life. You've never done anything in your life. It's happened. It's deeply relaxing, and you want to relax into that. You want to bathe in that mystery and to just let life happen. But then the fear comes up and says, you have to control your life. If you don't, you're going to die.
Yeah, that. Sorry, I'm just feeling into the body, and that all just, yeah, it all rang quite true. But yeah, there was a lot of tension, and it kind of cleared away as well. Hmm. Yeah, maybe, yeah. So it's really just kind of a habit, right? Like would it be fair to say that it's just kind of a habit that
Yeah. And it's the strongest habit of our current culture. Everybody is running shit scared of their life falling apart, of them being got by something. Like they're really so afraid of not being able to keep up. And it's all like it's all based on a very bizarre idea, because then you say what happens then, what happens then, what happens then, and people don't really have an idea. They're just more afraid of losing what they have, but they don't really know what they're afraid of. It's just this unknown. Like nobody really knows anyone that's fallen down the panhole and disappeared from society and been banished, like whose life's all collapsed. I don't think I know anybody, actually. I know people that have gone bankrupt, but the government, I mean, I don't know what happens in America, but the government has stepped in and given them accommodation, and then they've slowly picked themselves back up again, or just they stay on benefits then for a period. But I don't really.
similar. But
Sorry?
I said it's similar in America, but probably not. They're probably not as helpful as in, say, France or England.
I think France is more helpful because we pay higher taxes, and I seem to be insured for everything. Even if I die, my mum gets a big payout. I shouldn't tell my mum, keep telling my mum this. Like I've even got insurance for that, because I haven't got like somebody, like a child or a husband, then it has to go to someone, so it goes to my mum. But so in France, there's so many, like, because I suppose the reason they do that is because if you're like a single woman, or like if you're a married couple, then one dies, then it can destroy a family. So you even have insurance for that in France. It seems that I've got insurance for everything, like everything that could possibly, but it's like government insurance, not privatized insurance.
Huh. It's not so much like that out here, but yeah, there's something of a social safety net though, and you're right, honestly. Like as far as I know, no one,
Yeah, did you actually know anyone that's fallen through?
Yeah, not really, but the thing is, of course, like coming from an Indian family, I'm like everyone's got like the most secure professions on the planet, doctor and pharmacist. So if anyone's gonna fall through, it's gonna be me. So
Yeah, but you've got lots of doctors and pharmacists and engineers. You just have to go, like, swallow your pride. Like you've got them around you. You've got that security net as well.
True, and yeah, and they're very, our family's very quite tight knit. So um, that's not to say I haven't relied on them before as well. So yeah, no, that's fair.
And so it's like it's an uncalled for fear, but it feels very real, and it's what motivates most people in the society is that fear. The fear, and what it actually is that fear of non-existence. It's a fear of letting life take over, that if you give up the controls to life, if you let life control this, your life will go down the pan. Like your life will be destroyed, that you'll end up with something terrible. And it's also like, in a way, an arrogance. It's a belief that you have to control your life in order for it to survive.
That's 100% it. Yeah, like I like that just rang so true in my body. Yeah.
Do you know what happened to me the other day? This is really funny. Was I'm a little bit anal about doing my paperwork because of my dyslexia. It means that I try extra hard with my paperwork, and my partner, he is the opposite way, and he won't open his emails, he won't respond to mails for really long periods, and won't do his paperwork, and it always works out for him. He never ends up fine. And then I moved house, and my ex-landlord came round with this biggest wad of mail and bills from the tax office and all these types of things for like the last 5 months. And I've got bills dating back 4 months that I haven't paid. And I was like, that's such a good lesson. It works out. Like nothing happened. Like I didn't pay it and nothing happened. Like it's there's no big disaster. Like it will work out. And if my landlord hadn't come round, so I send it all to my accountant now, but if the landlord hadn't come round, then that would have gone on like another 6 months, I presume, or it could have gone for a long period. And it happened last year as well. Like we have this idea that we have to be so regimented about our lives and so controlled over our lives, but actually it works out. It works out.
Oh, that's so, yeah, that's that's basically like my worst fear. Yeah, like all these bills piling ahead, but yeah.
It was so funny when he handed it to me, this big wad. He found me on the street, like it's quite a small town, and I was walking, and he went around to my house, and then he found me walking, and he hands it to me, and I was like, whoa, like it was really like a big wad of them. Actually, it was also money back from the tax office as well, so I was like, yes, not from the tax, from the pension people. So I had a big amount coming back that I was like, yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, yeah, you basically hit the nail on the head. Yeah, just I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's about trusting life. Can I say that? Trusting God, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's coming online more and more. So.
Yeah, just to take the opening of your crown chakra. You could have never predicted that was coming. You could have never predicted that experience would happen, and that the effect that would happen on you, and it just happened. You didn't try and plan for it, like I'm really going to open this chakra now. It just opened. Like maybe you were on a retreat and you were hoping that it would clear them, but you didn't expect that to happen.
Actually, yeah, no, it's so weird. Like when it happened, I've never even thought about this. You know, I've done so much research on, the heart and the solar plexus, the gut, even the third eye, but like just never even really cared so much about it. And it just pops open. Like, like I guess I'd call it grace.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, we'll see what grace has in store for me today.
Maybe you'll meet a woman called Grace.
That would be fantastic. I'll call you immediately if that happens.
Nice. Well, thanks
so much.
Yeah, thank you for calling in. It's always lovely to speak to you.
Yeah, you as well. You take care.
Thank you. Bye. Okay, my lovely people, that is enough for today. I enjoyed spending time with you and sharing non-duality. In fact, it's a real pleasure. I really enjoy that. So thank you very much. I send you lots of love and I wish you well. And I will be here on Wednesday at 6 p.m. French time. Thanks, guys. Bye.